Hey guys, I'm just going to be doing a quick video unboxing of the Asus Radeon R9 270X 4GB GDDR5 graphics card. I ended up purchasing this graphics card on sale, and it actually ended up being cheaper than the 2GB version for whatever reason. And it also came with 2 games from the choice of the AMD game bundles that they do. You can see it didn't really come with a whole lot, but it does have the Crossfire SLI cable so that you can link 2 graphics cards together, and the power supply converter. And then you can see here it has just a small manual on how to install the graphics card. I think it's 2 pages in 12 different languages or something like that. Also, it has the tweak software, which I'll also get into a little bit later in the video. You can see that the graphics card itself is quite large. It ends up actually going past your motherboard when I do the install, which I will do a little bit later on in this video. I'll do the install and I'll also show you how the tweak software, the tweak and monitor software works with PC recording as well. So you can see here, the graphics card itself is fairly large. This is caused by the direct CU cooling system. You can see that is what those big aluminum pipes are along the sides. Ends up causing it to be a lot thicker, and it actually extends the length of it as well. So this graphics card goes about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch past my Sabertooth board, and you'll see that in a couple minutes here when I do the install. You can see here this graphics card has 2 DVI outputs, an HDMI output, and a DisplayPort output. Alright guys, we're on to the install portion of the video. This is not an instructional guide on how to install this graphics card. It's basically just a video of me installing the graphics card. I'm not a computer tech, so for one, I'm not qualified to teach anybody how to install this graphics card. And for two, the graphics card installation will be different depending on the system that you have, your motherboard, tower, and stuff that you're using. This is my tower. It's a Roswell Thor case, and it's the what I use for my gaming PC. I find it awesome. I have not had any problems with it. It was very easy for me to set up my system inside of it. This is my 3rd PC that I've built. And during the time of building the PCs, I've also switched parts. You can see that I was running a GTX 560 previously. It is pretty much the lowest end component in my computer. Most people, and what I would recommend most people do, is upgrade your graphics card first, presuming that your power supply itself can handle the graphics card that you're upgrading to. And the reason for that is you'll see the biggest jump in improvement in your computer generally from your graphics card, and that'll be as long as you have a decent RAM and a CPU that'll be able to run and keep up with it as well. The CPU that I'm running in this PC is the AMD 8350, and because it's the 8350, they run pretty hot because they're very fast CPUs. So I would also recommend, if you're going to go something like that, you go with a liquid cooler, which is what I have running on this. My memory is going to be, my RAM is 1800 megahertz, and I'm running the Sabertooth 990FX R2.0. You can see here is my old graphics card, and again, for a 560, it kept up pretty well. I never really had any problems ever with that graphics card. I run with 2 monitors as well, and it never had any problems. I was using the DVI outlets for that. I ended up doing that again with this same setup, but instead I'm using one HDMI output converted to DVI and one DVI cable itself. Here's again the graphics card itself. It is very large, and it's because of the aluminum tubing and stuff. The direct CU cooling makes this graphics card a lot thicker, and does make it a lot longer. So right now I'm just disconnecting the power supply for the CPU because the cable is in the way, and it still doesn't end up fitting in the board because the external SSD cable ends up blocking it in the way. So I end up taking that off and plugging this graphics card in, and here's where you can actually see how big this graphics card really is. It ends up poking out probably a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch past my Sabertooth board there, but otherwise it fits in pretty easily. I mean, once you get the wires and stuff moved out of the way. Again, doing a graphics card, if you have any knowledge at all about computers, is fairly straightforward and simple. I think it took me probably 5 minutes to do in total, and that's unplugging my computer from the wall, taking all the cables off of it, putting it on my table, taking the old graphics card out, putting the new graphics card in, putting the computer back together. So it's not a huge task, but like I say, I have also got a little bit of experience. I've built 3 PCs now and upgraded PCs between that time frame as well to better parts and all that kind of stuff. Again, it depends on your setup, and that'll vary in how difficult it is to install, as well as obviously your knowledge of computers itself and installing software or hardware into computers. Um, I did notice that when I installed this graphics card, it caused me other issues. It ended up making my mic start to get a lot of feedback, and you could hear the fans in the graphics card itself. With the previous 560, you couldn't hear really anything, so that ended up being a bit of a hassle, and I had to do a lot of tinkering with that. So now we're just putting all the wires back in. That blue wire there was the external SATA cable, and that's just basically so that I can plug a drive into the external portion of my computer to basically transfer data and all that kind of stuff. Now we're just reconnecting the power supply cables, or I guess connecting for the first time to this graphics card. Putting the power supply cables in so that it can have power and function properly. And then that's pretty much all that there is to installing this graphics card. Like I said, at least for my setup, just reattaching the power supply for the CPU that I disconnected to try to fit it in. This power supply for the CPU is only an 18-inch cable, and for my setup, just because of how big the tower itself is, I do need to get a 24-inch cable at some point. And that's just so that I can hide my cables a little bit better, so that it looks a little nicer and is easier to do future upgrades. You can see this door that I'm just about to put on here has an external fan, so that's what I'm doing right now, is just connecting the external fan to the bottom there. And then closing over the case itself, and that's it. Alright guys, now we're on the final portion of the video, which is just viewing GPU tweak and monitor software that came with the ASUS graphics card here. This is the software that was in the package with the box. I'm just loading up here Thief, which is playing on the screen just to the right of my the screen I'm recording here. Also note that right now I've sped up the video to 4 times the speed, so everything is happening pretty quick, and you'll see that the video starts playing, or the game starts playing a lot faster than it normally would. So yeah, you can see that it's just about to start playing, and you can see the different temperature and CPU usage or GPU usage and fan speed of everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it here, guys. You can see that it's working a little bit hard here, but it's certainly not overheating to a dangerous level. If you guys found this video useful or enjoyed it at all, please click the like button. It helps me a lot when you do, and thanks for watching.